All right, today is a big day. I'm super excited because today is podcast episode number 100. And it's said that about 94% of podcasts never make it to episode 100, so I'm feeling pretty accomplished today. And in this space today, what I'd like to do is speak out to the real estate community that help people move. So if you're an agent that's helping people buy or sell properties, or maybe a property manager, maybe you're in the lending side or title, maybe you do the insurance, or you have the moving van or some other service for people. What I want to do is speak out to you directly today, because in 2024, the market is remarkably different than it's been for the last several years, and nobody's not noticed that. What I would say, the consumers may not be quite aware of the pain involved in running an independent business, or maybe a straight commission business, to help others. So my hat's off to you today, my fellow industry workers in the real estate space. And what the challenges are that you're going to go through this year that will either make or break the year, not necessarily your career, but a year is definitely something that we want to go deeper on today. The first thing I'm going to talk about is, are we continually re-educating ourselves on our basic fundamentals in this industry? Because quite honestly, talking to people and helping people, certainly, that maybe hasn't changed too much. The way that we do it has. And there's no substitute for being a student of the game and talking to people and communicating and meeting them at their level and where they're at and making it needs-based. But more than ever, through the noise and the chatter and the videos and all the social media platforms, the tried and true method, it might just get lost in the shuffle. And on the first page, when we're looking for all the shiny objects and who's got the fanciest commercial and the greatest line and the funniest video, that's all well and good. But when the rubber meets the road and you're ready to make a transaction of $250,000 or $500,000 or $1 million buying or selling something, all that shine and glitz, sometimes it goes by the wayside. And now what you're looking for is a true consultant, a true student of the game who has your best interests at heart for them. Someone who is, not having some commission breath and not dependent on having you sign something today so they can have a roof over their head tomorrow. And with fewer and fewer stable businesses in the real estate community, when we're looking for a guide, someone to take us through the process with no end date. So if it takes a month or a year or 3 years, developing that relationship with the consumer is paramount. So we could shortcut our way to success for a month or 2 or 3, even maybe the whole year. But over time, it's far more expensive and time consuming to constantly get new customers. So what we can do is go back to the drawing board, go back to school, educate ourselves, brush up on the fundamentals, or maybe take a class that you've taken 5 times and maybe get something different with it. The same way that when you watch a movie 5 or 10 times on the reruns, you start noticing things that you missed the first, second, third time around. And that's what adds to your gaming, allows for a better consumer experience. If you haven't gotten around to using video, this might be the year to do it, to supplement what you're already doing. It doesn't replace a strategy. It's an addition to what you're already doing, to give that extra layer. Maybe just to show that you're in the modern world and you're embracing the technology and you're noticing that most things you see on social media have some sort of a video. Interestingly enough, most people watch those videos with the sound off. So the annotation that comes along with it is key. It really is. The more we do this, the more we realize it's a simple game. It's communicating with people, just 2 people talking about a need or a pain point or a desire. So if you're in the industry and maybe you're having a wildly successful start to 2024, congratulations. But there's a way to take it to a higher level, and maybe your business is, a little off. Then I could probably retrace that lack of success based on your goals to something that you may or may not be doing, or doing well, or doing often enough. The simple, boring, methodical, plotting way to success is to overcome the boredom of doing the things that make you successful. If it's calls or contacts or appointments at a metric that you look at, then those should be focused on. And if you're not getting enough appointments, then there's only two reasons. You're either not talking to enough people, or what you're saying does not provide value. And those are coaching areas for a beginner agent or a veteran agent. And before you say, well, I don't need a coach, I'm at a super high successful rate. You know the best people in the industry have coaches? The biggest sports stars have multiple coaches. The best actors, the best musicians, performers, they all have coaches. And they all practice. And they role play. And they go through their scripts. And they watch game film. And they're constantly looking for that one thing, that one twitch, that one movement, that one word that's going to change everything. So, to my fellow industry workers and performers, what I'd say to you is 2024, it's a year to be better. Better than last year. Better than those around you. Better than your situation, but be better. You see, that's a choice. Your choice could be to fall victim to what everybody else is saying or talking about or complaining or not doing. Or it could be just a choice to do what few others are willing to do consistently over time, again and again, without fail. Too often people, well, they quit when they're on the verge of success. They've been doing it for a month or two and they're not seeing results. I don't care if it's a weight loss thing or going to the gym or anything. You've got to put down bedrock, and it takes a while for that to show. And maybe you've been in the business for a long, long time, but maybe you've just been doing it since the first of the year and actually following your New Year's resolution. The results may not show up in the first part of February, even March. But I'd argue what you're doing today is going to show up in 60 days. And if you worked it really hard today, there's probably a really good result in 60 days. And if you took a series of days off right now, then the next 60 days, when you look down the road, well, they could be brutal. Too many of the people I know in the industry that had success in the easy years, during COVID, who thought that was going to be an easy year, those times? But they were. And I want to make sure that before we go down the road it has to be hard, you just have to operate a little differently than you have been in the past. When it was easy, we relaxed. Maybe we didn't study as hard. Maybe we didn't improve our game as much. Maybe we were just too busy or just enjoying it too much. Or thought this new normal was never going to end. Reality of it is that everything ends at some point, and something starts anew. And right now, the veteran agent, the well-seasoned agent, the well-spoken agent, the one that has the answers, the one that comes from contribution, is never rushing anybody. It's working on the customer's needs based on their timeline. Those are going to be the winners this year and ongoing. I'd argue that's a winning formula in every market, but especially the one that we're in today. I'm going to continue to be a student of the game and study like nobody else so I can have a business like nobody else. And in the spirit of contribution, I'm going to share it all. So for those of you that notice my social media pages, on a weekly basis, you're seeing multiple posts of things that I'm experiencing and learning and sharing. My mentor often talks about in order to be successful, you have to give it all away. And for those that have closely guarded trade secrets, I'm just going to open up the playbook. And I'll help you along, whether you're on my team or on the other team. It doesn't matter. Because the industry as a whole needs to be better. And the best way to do it is the spirit of collaboration. And we can be broker agnostic or industry free. We don't have to keep it just within one area or one team or one division. See, as the industry gets better as a whole, there's a bigger bond of trust between the industry and the consumer. And that's where the magic happens. Too often these businesses we're in, they're looked at a little bit differently. And I won't mention other ones, but there's certain businesses where there's just a lack of trust on the part of the consumer. Maybe there's a feeling that people are just in it for the money, or they just want the check and disappear after the closing or the services provided. The time-tested strategy with proven results is to just keep showing up, keep providing value with no expectation of what might come in return. And the funny thing is, if you keep doing that, quite a bit comes in return. And it's ongoing. And those referrals that we're looking for and really putting in the front, they come at the back. The 5-star review only comes after you put the work in, day after day, timeless in your execution. And then following up after that. It takes a lot of reminders for someone to choose and want to use you. And if you're not doing anything that's quite remarkable, then you're going to be just like that statistic that says a year down the road, more than half the people in the United States can't remember the agent's name that they used. It might be on the tip of their tongue, but it's not top of mind, and it's a big, big difference. So I bring to you, my fellow industry workers and brethren, that the way to be better is simple. And it's a choice. It's not hard at all. Get the training you need to be better. And go back and relearn or retrain on the things that maybe you're not 100% on. Maybe you're 80%, but how do we get to 100%? The magic happens quietly behind the scenes. There's no big flash of light where it all just works. It's the accumulation of really good days and stacking wins. You see, once you are better one day, it's going to feel good. You want to be better the next day, and pretty soon it's just contagious. And you're going to want to keep doing it, and then you win. And other people around you win, and your customers win. I want to finish up with that and just take this moment to have a lot of gratitude. So many people have contributed to help me get to this point. Lots of encouragement, lots of messages, and certainly my mentors in this industry that have gotten me to where I am able to say that I've hit my 100th episode. This is Ron Wojciechowski with a lot of gratitude today for the black hole of real estate.